I come from a culture where mental health, you go seek mental health help. People think that you're strange. You should be able to just sort your things out and just be happy or just be productive or just, right yourself. And it's interesting because I grew up believing that in a sense. Like you could just make yourself happier. You could just get up and decide to do something. But I think it was maybe 2 years ago, really. And kind of after here on this channel, I was streaming, I think at least 3 times a week, and I was trying to make my way up to 5 times a week, and streaming on YouTube as an artist is is one of those brutal experiences, I think, where, on the one hand, you do it because you love it, but on the other hand, hey, you have to pay your bills and make things work. So I had to shift priorities. But part of it really was burnout. I was talking with Lines, a fan who's, we go way back on the channel here, and Jordan as well, just about being burnt out because I was trying to do so much. And not just that, but I do want to mention I'm an independent designer. I work for myself and I don't necessarily fit into the corporate life paradigm is what I'm looking for. And I can talk about that sometime in my experience if you want. But as a part of these talks about design, I want to keep it real with you and talk about ADHD today because overcoming this mental hurdle for myself was something that had to be initiated from the outside. And I'm grateful for people who were able to see it and kind of check me on it and suggest, hey, maybe you should talk to somebody and get some help. So I mentioned Jordan and Lines and streaming. And yeah, I was trying to stream 3 times a week, I think, and then work my way up to five. And I had plans, I wanted to do. I think I even tried twice a day at one point. And the brutality of streaming on YouTube as an artist, not a gamer, not, a gimmicky lifestyle or anything like that creator, is kind of rough because you have to pay your bills. You have to be able to do everything else. So, a little bit more background. I'm a full time single father. So, I have two boys. They're wonderful humans. And in some ways, they're like me. It's fun to see. Parenting is its own experience. I think in many ways, the greatest design project you'll ever undertake is being a parent. In the sense that you have to design yourself, right? Think about your own shortcomings and deficiencies, if you will, and ways to improve on that and make sure you can ensure a good future for your children. So trying to manage being a full-time single parent, meaning other parent is not in the picture. I have my children, I would say 90% of the time at this point. It's shifting a little bit now, but being a full-time parent and trying to run a business and also, I'm single, so I'm trying to meet people and trying to make connections, and whether in business or romantically as well. Like it's a lot. What I'm trying to say is it's a lot of work. Okay, mentally, the load, having to always be managing things for other people in terms of children and their needs, and also not forgetting yourself in all of it. Because as a parent, you have to remember you're human. And even if you don't have children and you're watching this, right? And maybe you'll relate to the rest of the story here as I get to it. You have to remember yourself. You're not just a piece of machinery that gets lost in the system and is considered a consumable or just part of it all, right? We are people. Humanity matters, people matter. So, as I was trying to manage everything and just function as a father and as a friend and as a partner and, counsel and all these things, educator, there was a time I don't think I was streaming at this point. I had stopped because, I'd gotten to that point of burnout. I didn't even know what burnout was at the time. Okay, I've learned a lot since then. I didn't know what burnout was. I was experiencing it. I took a step back from the channel here. And in the back of my head, I always thought, okay, this is just a short break. This is just a time for me to reset, to regroup, to reconnect. And then I'll be back. I'll be back and I'll be better. And I kept iterating on my studio and tinkering. And I had this idea, this notion in my head of what things needed to be like before I showed up again. And while metrics matter in some way and money matters and all of that, I will admit that I lost focus on what ultimately mattered, which was again humanity my own humanity, your humanity as fans and people who appreciate what I do, and just maintaining that connection. And for that, I apologize. I apologize for just disappearing. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't regret recognizing I needed to take a step back, but I do want to say I apologize for that because I do and did miss, connecting on live and just some of the serendipitous experiences and moments. I got to meet one of my fans. I call her friend now, Lori, in person, and she's off doing her thing now and drawing. So if you're watching this, Lori, much love. But I ended up in a place, a not so good place mentally. This is where I'm going with this. Okay, I just got medicated, so it's taking some time to kick in. Anyhow, I was not okay. I was not okay. And like many things in life, it takes admitting something, it takes recognizing it. They say acceptance or acknowledgement is the first step to saying, I have a problem here, because it got to the point where I remember there was one week where I sat in my room outside of the minimally functional requirements of life. I sat in my room, I put up blackout shades, and I was just lost in my own sauce, so to speak. Just directionless, didn't really feel motivated. And I decided I had to do something about this. I went to the doctor, suggested, hey, I have ADHD or something is off. My primary care wasn't able to help with anything. So he recommended, hey, go see a psychiatrist. So I did. I do want to say, though, before I get into this part of the story, that it wasn't just this moment. It was feeling frustrated at my ineffectual attempts at being organized or being principled or being consistent. And for those who have ADHD, you know what I mean? Like, it affects friendships, it affects business, it affects how you parent, everything. Everything. It's just it's another lens, if you will, or filter for life, right? So he recommends go see a psychiatrist. I do. And I set that up. Thankfully, being in the United States, I was insured at the time, and they did a full evaluation. I mean, I went in and spent several hours doing things like an IQ test, a cognitive spatial reasoning test. I remember doing mathematics, which I love, by the way, and just a questionnaire about my life. And as I was telling him about my life, I described to him something that actually I can see in my son. He's also diagnosed, but that is to say, I would do loops. I don't know if you can relate to this if you have ADHD, but I would do loops. So I would, think, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. Let me start with this, and then I will get to that. And then I would forget about this and go do that and forget about, back and forth, or you could say A, B, C, whatever. And so I would do these loops around my house. And before you know it, 3 hours would pass. I work from home. So hours would pass or deadlines would slip. And thankfully, most of my clients, they understand. Well, they understand creative people tend to be a little less organized, especially if you're more on the artistic, ARTISTIC, not autistic side of things. No shade or shame there, by the way, just clarifying. They understand, and I was grateful for that. But also just being disappointed in myself at how I realized I was not being, or living rather, up to my full potential. So basically, within 15 minutes of meeting with this gentleman, I don't remember his name, but within 15 minutes, he said, yeah, there's something going on here. Even just by the way I was talking, just all over the place. For those who've been in workshops with me, or I've taught a class, you know what I'm talking about. Like, sometimes I'm just all over the place. And so I kind of chuckled. We went through the rest of the tests. There was one test in particular I remember I really struggled with, and that was where you're sitting at a computer and they give you some visual inputs and ask you to do a task, but then they distract you at the same time. So there might be something on the side of the screen, there might be a sound, a light, something like that. And then they ask you to complete the task and they judge your response time. So by the end of that, he said to me, yeah, you probably have severe ADHD. I can see based on this, your attentiveness or your hyperactivity is low, but your attentiveness is low as well. You get distracted, that kind of thing. And in a it's hard to describe because on the one hand, it's nice to have answers, right? Oh, okay, this is what's going on. And then on the other hand, it's like, well, I have ADHD. So and going back to what I said at the beginning of the video, growing up in a culture where mental health, right? and any sort of problem with mental health is seen as a negative, it's when you accept that diagnosis and you realize, oh yeah, okay, this is real. It's like bittersweet. That's the word. It's bittersweet because it's nice to have an answer. It's nice to know, okay, here's what's up. But then the realization that, oh, I'm different in this way, especially when there's a negative stimulus attached to it, or stigma rather. So being interested, and I don't usually take medication. I really don't. Even when I go to something like the dentist and they do some sort of dental surgery, root canals, that kind of thing. Outside of the numbing that they do in my jaw, I don't accept any sort of narcotic. I don't, because I don't want to create a dependency, and I it's just a personal decision. Okay, I'm not anti vaccine or whatever, and you can do whatever you want to your body. I'm just saying this is one area where I tend to not really over medicate. And so this was different. I had to overcome that mental hurdle. And at the recommendation of my doctor, he said, okay, well, we have some options. We can try this or we can try that. So you can get with this, so you can get with that, right? And trying a few things back and forth, I'll shortcut this a bit. There's differences between generic and brand name things, and the amount that you are prescribed, the length of the stimuli, because as I've learned, ADHD in many ways has to do with like a dopamine deficiency. My brain is just different. And so much so that when I took the medicine, I was like, wait a minute, this is what I'm capable of? I can focus. I feel less anxious. I'm not depressed. I feel intentional. I can feel my sense of purpose rising, that clarity, right? And that determination. I could just feel it. It was crazy. Truly, for me, it was crazy. And without, at the risk of getting emotional, just thinking, again, this is what I missed out on, my whole life, because my family, my parents didn't really, they wouldn't even have known what to look for. No shade to them. It's just, culturally speaking, it's not something that exists. You just work through your stuff. And don't get me wrong, that's important. As I even try to teach my son, that's important. It's important to have milestones and goals and reminders, and work especially on habits and patterns. Okay. Figure out ways to reward yourself. As you have this dopamine deficiency, you have to figure out ways to create dopamine, because I don't want to be dependent on medication. But I suppose I'm making this video today partly because I did take my medication. Had a rough week in some ways, and this morning I was just really struggling. So I said, you know what, let me dose up here and see how this goes. And it's been great. Took a walk, enjoyed some nature. But again, those other externalities, those other activities that you can do, go for a walk, listen to music, play your favorite instrument, whatever. Do something orthogonal to the task that you're trying to do for a minute, but commit to return. Those things are just habits. And as I've told my son many times, it's the habits that make the difference. The medication makes it easier to follow through on the habits. It's really about habits and patterns and figuring things out. But I share this message to say, again, apologies for disappearing, but to relate to you, because I want to make this a more authentic human experience as the recent episodes, going through the boot camp and working on some of the basics. And don't worry, I'm going to be producing those until we get to a point where I'm sketching products, and there will be a live premiere where I'm back on live and we talk and we interact and things are free flowing. I'm going to come prepared with topics and so forth, but those will be fun. But that's to say, I'm kind of in the restart process here. I want to keep it real. And this is one of the topics that was just top of mind for me. There are many more. The nature of creativity, the good thing about hard things, productivity and what it means in this system of capitalism. As a designer and artist, how do you function? Morals, ethics, values, the rise of what we are, or what people are calling rather, AI, machine learning, tools for enhancing your creativity. How do we, as creatives who want to remain authentic to our own practice and purpose and mission, how do we engage with these tools and maintain authorship, or maintain the individuality that our clients and people enjoy? These are all things that I've been thinking about in the background, or some of the things, not all of them. And I would love to share with you. So if you have questions for me, these are kind of videos that I will share out of sync, out of the flow of the normal sketch stuff, because I do want you to get to know me. I want to get to know you and see that there is a human side to all of this. It's not just, hey, here's some cool stuff that I drew, or here's a cool thing I designed or 3D printed or whatever. It's, I'm a person, I'm a human, you're a human. We have our strengths, our weaknesses, and we have opportunities to connect. Not in a purely parasocial fake sense, but like, there's just so much beauty out there. Humans are beautiful. We have so much potential, right? So I just wanted to share a little bit about that today. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you like this sort of thing, let me know as well. If you have questions or topics you want me to address, let me know. I plan on doing videos like this once a week where I kind of just talk and discuss a topic, or not discuss, but share my thoughts on a topic that affects me personally. And it could be anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be related to design or anything like that, art. It could be a question about interpersonal relationships or business, or it could be philosophy or science, anything. I am somewhat of an autodidact, a polymath, and I love learning. I love learning from people. I love learning from my mistakes. And I want to be the best version of me that I can be, both for myself and for those around me. All right. So, with that, I'll leave you here. If you like this sort of thing, like I said, ask questions, leave comments, but most importantly, do the good things, which would be sharing this video, having a discussion in the comments. Those things are free. You don't have to do anything about that. But if you want to support beyond that, well, before I get to that, subscribe as well. If you're new here, you can follow me on other platforms. Should be the same username, Sketchaday or Sketchaday DOTCOM. I'm going to be working to unifying that already as well, rather, and just making that more consistent. As most people know me as Sketchaday, but I do a lot of different things. So hang tight. I will be workshopping that. But if you want to take things a step further, I will gladly take your money. All right, I will gladly take your money. So donate. There should be a link in the video here. Or if you want to check out the store at Sketch a Day, you can purchase my books, either Sketch Every Damn Day or the Perspective Drawing Guide. I will be listing those on my store, and those will be signed copies. They will be limited. So with the signed copy, you do get a custom sketch. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, those are some ways that you can support me. Or if you just want to send me money, Venmo, PayPal, whatever, right? That will be in the video. So, or the video description rather. Anyhow, take care. Talk soon. And like I said, keep an eye out for those videos. I'll be going through a few more topics on the boot camp: line quality, shading, constructing more complex objects, and then marker. And I think I will kind of peel off there and go back to the regular demos. So if you have a question about something specific to draw, definitely put that in there as well. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day, whatever time of day you're watching this. Take care, and I will see you later. Bye bye.